Oresama Teacher is a manga series that I wanted to read. Its art is done by and written by Izumi Tsubaki. She does also Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, which I really enjoyed. Oresama Teacher came out before Monthly Girls, and it is about a delinquent girl, 15. Her name is Mafuyu Kurosaki. She's a delinquent. She's a badass fighter. She has a lot of fans at East High. However, after a brawl with a rival school, she trips. Police show up. Everyone else runs away. She gets screwed. So she gets expelled from East Side High, and her mom gives her an ultimatum. She's going to go to Midagoraka High School, which is a 15-minute bullet train ride on a mountain, secluded. And there she will reinvent herself. She will become a normal teenage girl. She'll cut her hair. She'll change her attitude. She'll make some female friends, do female things like go shopping and eat cake instead of, getting in fights and things like that. So her mother says if she doesn't do this, she'll disown her. So Mafuyu decides to live on her own. She has to. She's living in a dorm, and the day before school starts, she messes up her last cup of instant noodles. So, rather than go hungry, she decides to go to the convenience store, pick up some snacks. She sees a guy getting picked on by 3 other guys. And she's wearing her high school uniform because she wanted to, test it out. But 3 against 1 isn't fair, and she has a really big sense of justice. So she's going to skip saving him, but one of them pulls out an X-Acto knife, so she takes them all out immediately. And the guy, he's, relieved to be saved by her, but then he demands her snacks. And he's able to deduce that she is a delinquent, that she is going to this new school because she's a delinquent. And if she doesn't want him to tell everyone about her past, she's going to have to give up her snacks. So she finds out his name, gets mad, gives him the snacks, walks off. Finds out next day that he is her homeroom teacher. And things only get more interesting from there. So basically the plot of Oresama Teacher is that this teacher of hers is an old childhood friend of hers, and she totally forgot about him. And then now he's back. He's a bit older than her, but he's a teacher. And he has a bet going on with the principal. He wants to improve the reputation of the school and double the attendance within 3 years. If he can do it, he gets 3 years' salary. If he doesn't, he loses. So the principal's son is Miyabe Hanabusa. He's on a cover here, this guy. He's basically a really pretty boy, rich, has his lackeys because he's the president of the school council. So he's got a whole bunch of lackeys, and he demands that they either crush Mr. Saeki, he's the teacher, or destroy the reputation of the school so the bet isn't complete. So the student council is made up of 6 characters. Mafuyu has to team up with the first guy she meets, Hayasaka, and then Mr. Saeki forces them to start a club, the Public Morals Club, in which he can talk to them and use them basically to improve the reputation of the school. So they have to try to throw in a festival or a sports trip, and then the student council try to stop them. So what I really like about this is it's supposed to be a shoujo romance comedy. However, it doesn't go too far on the romance. This series is mostly focused on the comedy elements, and unlike Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, that series is done in a series of 4-panel comic strips, so you really can't go too far with character development. However, Oresama Teacher has a lot of character development for all these characters. You find out why Mafuyu is a delinquent. You find out the backstory of Saeki. She's got all these other characters. One of the members of the student council goes undercover. His name is Shinobu. He fancies himself a modern day ninja, so he's always hiding behind things, kind of like Solid Snake. But this series is full of hilarious, memorable characters, lots of good writing and good jokes. If there's any weaknesses in the series, I'd say that there are too many characters. There's the Public Morals Club, there's the Student Council, there's also the ex-friends at East Side High, and there's also West Side High, North Side High, and South Side High. And then there's Kiyama, there's a rival school. So there's as many characters in this manga as Game of Thrones. And there's even a chart at the end of the manga books to sort of help you remember. This manga series also kind of reminds me of Shakespeare in a way. The main character, Mafuyu, she likes to fight, but she can't. So she adopts 2 personas to help her fight, Superbun and Natsuo. Natsuo is basically just her with platform shoes, different hair, and a school uniform. And Superbun is just her with a rabbit mask. So it kind of reminds me of those sort of cross-dressing, sort of like a Twelfth Night. Not like, I'm not saying that Oresama Teacher is as good as Shakespeare. I'm saying it reminds me of the goofiness and the playfulness of the plots. So the series is mostly the student council members going after the Public Morals Club one by one. There's a lot of great humor. Some of the smaller characters don't get enough development, but they deliver jokes. For example, there's this character, he's into S&M and he tells everyone. And sometimes, you know, the segue into his stuff just comes out of nowhere, it comes randomly. For example, Mafuyu is exchanging photographs with her old school with her cell phone for New Year's, and then her friends go, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "No, don't look." And then Mizono sends her a picture of himself tied up because, you know, that's what he likes to do at New Year's, and they have no context. They just see a guy tied up on her phone and they go, "Oh, what is that?" So a lot of humor like that. So Oresama Teacher, I've read the first 24 volumes. It's been going since 2007. It's still ongoing. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. It's really comedic. It's funny. A lot of action. There's like a lot of fights. If I had to describe this series, it's almost kind of very similar to Scott Pilgrim versus the World, or just Scott Pilgrim. And you know, the fights, the humor, it's very similar to that. So if you like Scott Pilgrim, you'll like Oresama Teacher. I definitely recommend this manga series. Definitely check out Oresama Teacher.